let's flip a coin. Heads Carolina, tails California.
Hello, it's the Ask Andy show. I'm in Lomé, Togo, West Africa, capital of Togo, and I'm going to the Diallo cafeteria. It's in the Kojo-Via-Kopi neighborhood, just across from the Ghana border. Really very good place because there's two like little university type schools close, so a lot of the students come, so it's a little vibrant and thing. But I'm going to answer some questions today. I want you to know I only have about 3 times of doing it at each restaurant before the locals sort of get burnt in the brain. It's like the novelty at first is great, and then after that they start asking too many questions, thinking too much, and even wanting to make money from me talking to myself on the camera. So I'll ask a question here in Diallo. It's a great place to really understand Diallo cafeteria. The cafeteria is in most of, well, let's see, it's in Benin and Togo for sure, are like your mom and pop restaurants of America. But you're really kind of complicated to find one that's even open or doing anything. So Diallo's is excellent. Okay, Tim K asked, I mean, he's really a regular. He's got about 25 questions ahead, and I'm trying to just give you one a day. He's an attorney somewhere in New York, I think. I mean, in the United States. I'm not really clear. He's a little bit on the elusive side, but he's a good guy. How can I ensure travel educates me? First of all, the prime directive of travel is to enjoy yourself. I don't know, Americans really have this guilt complex that they have to be getting educated, and that's a great way to destroy a good trip. What they do is they work their travel. They plan their trip like, okay, I have to move, hold on. He's making me, he wants to clean the table. So he wants me to move to a clean table. Doesn't quite see that I'm right in the middle of a video, and that's sort of awkward, right? Okay. Africans would never let the convenience of the client interrupt their work. The customer is never right. Okay. Okay, Diallos. Okay, West Africa is like the art of not doing business with good service. They get by in spite of themselves. Okay, how can I ensure travel educates me? Okay, first of all, the primary directive in life is really to enjoy your life. And what the last thing you need to do is feel guilty. Basically, your Caucasian, Europe, America cultures are full of these long lists of things we have to do. I call it human doing. They're basically, they have to be doing something constructive or they cannot be happy. So what they end up doing is traveling like a business. So they have an agenda, they have a plan, they do. Fortunately, I have broken that addiction. I am so grateful. But I have to thank Tim for reminding that it's an addiction in America. Okay, I get in my nothings all the time. An executive at, I mean, we really work a lot when you really enjoy. I worked a lot in America. I mean, I worked 16 hours a day often. And I was always on call because anybody could call me. I was a real estate broker selling a couple houses a week. And they call me Saturday, Sunday. They get really angry if you're on your sailboat sailing, if you answer the phone. Like, why aren't you working? Okay. But travel is, why am I not getting educated on my trip? Okay. First of all, are you really a person that likes to get educated? Now, Tim, I think, is. He gets a warm fuzzy by learning about things that have nothing to do with what he's not. Serendipitous, curiosity type things that are fun. Are they going to, sadly, most people only want to get educated so they get to university and get a job and make more money, Travel could probably do that, maybe, in the sense that I was told that I was a philosophy major, and I was thinking about getting an MBA or doing something like that. And one of these advisors in university said, Andy, you got to understand that the CEOs of companies are highly educated, and they really want to talk to you more, talk to a person about anything and everything, and not just accounting or finance or how to make money. They really need a diversity. So what travel does is give you a lot of cocktail conversation. So how do you get cocktail conversation? It makes you able to talk about anything. The value of this show is I've been to 90 countries, traveled non-stop for 16 years as a world traveler, went around the planet 20 times or whatever. I have an opinion about just about every country on the planet. I mean, very few of them. You'd have to get into an island off the South Pacific before I would start to get a little confused. But Fiji, I can tell you all sorts of things about Christchurch, New Zealand. I have an opinion. That doesn't mean I know it personally. I want to. Be glad to take you there. How can I ensure travel education? The number one way is to cross the language barrier. So learn a language. There's, I don't know, 7,000 languages on the planet. And the main ones are German, French, no, that's not right. It's not German. I'm saying wrong. Spanish, French, Arabic, maybe Russian, and Chinese. Learn one of those languages. Don't learn German. It really doesn't get you anywhere. But I speak French and Spanish. Yo hablo español, je parle français, oh, I speak a little Thai. That's not a language I really need to learn. But you spend enough time going in and out of a country, you learn something, right? But why would you learn a language? The reason why it ensures you're educated is it takes you outside the box. It takes you off kilter. You basically start looking at the world and empathizing with the world from a different culture, because the language is the culture. And that's the way you ensure if you want to be the ugly American, which is basically comes there, basically doesn't listen to anybody, never learn a language, living inside the expat colony and only talk to expats and drive a car. If you actually want to get educated, you speak a language. Now, on the short side, learn the basics of a language with another American English. Don't go immerse yourself in a country. You're just going to be totally frustrated. I can learn any language, I'm sure. I have a system where I'm the worst person to learn a language on the planet. It's completely rote memory. I have to write words out 20 times. Bonjour, 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 until my brain inserts it into it. But that's the way to ensure you're educated. When you see something, to really get to the higher level of global knowledge, what you're going to see is that there's a journalism. There's information like, oh, they'll steal your soul by taking a picture, that is just pure bullshit. This kind of information is, I don't even want to call it in journalism. They basically key onto something that's sort of a sensationalistic thing, and then they build on it. Then another travel writer writes about it because he didn't really go there. Then they basically turn it into a reality that doesn't have any reality. So, if you really want to be educated, you have to test reality. If I call them tells, look for the tells. Somebody says it's dangerous. Well, a dangerous place has dogs, guys standing around with machine guns. I mean, in West Africa, in South Africa, they have cars that shoot out flames outside the thing to make a carjacker get away from you. This is, when I was in Mexico, I laughed. I asked Andrea, I had this girlfriend, Andrea, and her job was to read all the newspapers of the planet and tell the president of Mexico what opinions on things. And I knew she was rich when I seen the bodyguard outside her door. Bodyguards are very common in Mexico because they kidnap so many people. So you look for the tells and do it. But that's to check reality to make sure you really get educated, because it's so easy to read something and then go out and find that information and substantiate it. And what you read is seldom what is true. If you're watching CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, one of these things, they just pick out some very, very minute people. Like, I asked my Thai girlfriend if she wanted to go to America one time. She says, no, they die in snowstorms. Because she had watched something that made snowstorms into something that were so deadly dangerous that she was afraid to go there. But she read the news and watched the TV and all that stuff. So what the news does is hyper-sensationalistic, something that's really just nothing to do with the country. So what you got to do is, but the best way to, mercy, my breakfast is coming. To stay educated, question everything, and get outside your comfort zone. If everything's comfortable, you're not learning. If it's uncomfortable, you're learning. If you feel annoyed, that means you're immersed. If you're very, very happy, that means you're not immersed. But generally, never tell me you're too busy. That means your brain is closed. If you tell me you have nothing to do and you're happy and you wonder, make sure that you block off a lot of free time where the brain can just contemplate things. I really have enjoyed Wikipedia. Wikipedia has been a windfall for me because I can get on there and read and read and read, and I call it string logic. I start pulling one thing and I keep pulling and I keep pulling and I keep pulling. And I want to update a lot of times Wikipedia on things in Africa, but they refuse to because I didn't write a book about it. I can't be an authority on that village because just because I'm there doesn't make me an authority. Wikipedia is like inbreeding. I mean, anybody that writes a book, suddenly that becomes a fact, and that's not true. I mean, people write books for agendas, especially in Africa. Okay, how do you stay thinking? First of all, learn a language. Learn the local language. If you don't know how to say Sawadee Kap in Thailand, you know, Pakit Hinde and things, Akwa, which is A-way for hello. If you don't know how to say hello in the local language where you're at, you're not learning.